We're going to unpack Tubi's multi-year marketing playbook that has catapulted it from a little-known app to a top streamer of today, increasing viewership, subscribers, and revenue, recently crossing the $1 billion mark to become a $1 billion revenue brand. Hey, if you're new here, this is Mischief at No Fixed Address. We create work that makes a stir because the riskiest thing your brand can do is be ignorable. We specialize in big business impact and big cultural impact. And I'm going to do something that not a lot of agencies do. We're going to take you in behind the scenes. This is one of our decks we would show a potential new client. A lot of the times when we talk to new clients, they're like, how do you get to the goods? What is your creative process? Our creative process is extremely simple. It's these two steps here. Step one, we figure out what are we trying to say. And step two, we decide how to say that in the most interesting way, always possible. Step one for us is where the magic happens. It means strategy, and for us, strategy means a lot of collaboration. So we've got to sit down and do work sessions with the client, figure out what we're trying to say. To help with the strategic and creative portion of our exercise, we do have a little method to the madness that we call the mischief mindset. And that's around the premise of smart looks for better answers, but genius gives better questions. So we want to be seeking and looking for better questions the whole time, asking questions that then puts our mind in a different place to help the brand show up in a very unexpected way, or a way that's slightly tweaked or reframed that puts it in a new light and context. And the question we asked Tubi is, what's our biggest weakness here, or our biggest perceived weakness, and can we actually flip it and make it our biggest strength? Now, we've been working with Tubi since 2022. We debuted the brand to the world at Super Bowl 23, and we created a long-term brand platform that has just kept the brand going ever since, growing, huge momentum, huge amount of success. It all started with a problem to solve, as all of our challenges do. The problem back then is, what the hell is Tubi, right? It's a crowded category, and there's minimal differentiation. No one really, or not enough people knew what Tubi was, to the point where if you typed it into Google search bar, the autofill was, is Tubi a scam? So our brief as the agency was to have people say, hold on, what is Tubi? And to reassess it and to reappraise it and to go in and search it, have a moment that makes people want to search Tubi and figure out what the hell it is. In tandem to that, we wanted to set the brand foundation, so create a long-term brand platform messaging that we could keep coming back to year after year after year. One of the category truths that we kept coming back to when we were strategizing during the creation of the long-term brand platform is this idea that every brand and streamer tends to rely on the prestige of a title to help with its marketing. So a new show drops, a new season of a show drops, and everyone gets hyped around it, and there's so much money and marketing being pushed to that title, but not enough marketing being pushed to the brand itself. So Tubi saw an opening to create a situation where it was pushing its brand instead of a title. Meanwhile, going back to our question up here, what's our biggest weakness? A lot of people saw Tubi's biggest weakness as having a lot of titles, like a casserole of content. It has more than 300 movie titles and counting. It's got so much content. It dwarfs, absolutely dwarfs the Netflixes of the world. It's got the biggest content library for a streamer. But that's not a weakness, that's a strength, because actually monoculture is dead. Like, long gone are the times where you would all sit around and share a quote that you saw on Simpsons last night or Family Guy last night. Nowadays, there's such a fragmentation of media that everyone's chasing their own interests. So culture has moved from a place of monoculture to actually exploring your interest-based niches more than ever. And Tubi is set up the best for this, because nowhere on the planet has a deeper library to explore your niche-based interests. So if you like Stranger Things, for instance, you can go to Tubi and find 71 different versions of kids, sci-fi, 70s in Middle America running around up to crazy adventures. And this is how we got to the long-term brand platform. Now flip your screen, we'll do something a little bit different here. This is the long-term brand platform. It's called If It's In You, It's In Here. If you have this niche-based interest that you want to explore, whatever it is, it's going to be in Tubi. You're going to be able to find it. This long-term brand platform has been in place since 22-23, and it's this multi-year idea and messaging that everything can ladder back up to. This has shown up across B2C, a sports integration, and B2B, which is very important for them because they're an ad streamer. They get all of their revenue from ads. So we introduced the brand during Super Bowl 23, and that was in a series of spots called Rabbit Holes, and it was the mascot here, which we created, the Tubi rabbit, kidnapping people and throwing them down holes, like rabbit holes they didn't even know they wanted to explore. They're thrown down, they're going past content, they're confused at first, and then they're like, ah, nice. Once we had explained what Tubi was, then later on during the Super Bowl, we had a chance to explain what it feels like to be so into Tubi you're drawn into it. During a pinnacle Q4 moment, it was a very tight game. I believe it was Eagles and the Chiefs at the time. Very, very tight game. It looked like you'd come back from an ad break and gone back into the game. You saw commentary going on. So who do you think has got this game, they were saying. Then suddenly the menu bar opens up and it looks like someone goes out of the live broadcast and clicks on Tubi and goes through, clicks on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that movie with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and starts Tubi. Everyone went wild because people were thinking that someone had sat on the remote or changed the channel from the live broadcast to Tubi. Tens of thousands of people logged into Tubi immediately to figure out what was going on. This whole campaign obviously supported by a big public relations push and very strategic paid media in the lead up to the game. Smart content strategy and a PR rollout plan. But as mentioned, we've taken this same idea, this brand platform of if it's in you, it's in here, across sport. So they're big during the NFL season. A series of spots shows sports analysts say, now let's get a little close-up of the Jets there. A play on the team, but then it just shows a clip from a Tubi movie or show where it's just a bunch of jets, stuff like that. And Tubi has done some wonderful marketing on the B2B side. Everyone thinks that B2B marketing should be completely different to B2C, but you're still advertising to humans. So for us, it's exactly the same kind of marketing. And it makes sense when there's a thread going back through, pulling all the way back up to the same messaging. If it's in you, it's in here. So because Tubi is ad-based and it relies on that revenue, they need to woo media planner and buyers from agencies and the media buyers from big brands and say, hey, here's a case for why you should be advertising on Tubi. And they've just done this so well time and time again. They actually created bespoke films that you would only understand if you're a media planner and buyer and then put them on Tubi. It's so funny, targeting different avenues of media planning and buying, like this guy who's tied up and accidentally, he's being interrogated because he accidentally placed media in the wrong context. This horror-esque one where someone's really trying to understand Gen Z next door and how to target them. And then during the upfronts and new fronts, a bunch of really cool out-of-home that leans on data that they've sourced from their own viewers to woo brands about why they should advertise. So murder mystery fans appreciate a good stain remover targeting CPG, house care and cleaning products here. Tubi viewers are 20% more likely to buy cleaning products every week. How about this one? Sword and sorcery buffs are beard trimmer buffs too. Tubi viewers are 18% more likely to buy bed and bath products. So it's so fun sourcing all of this data and marrying it to the fandom. Again, that niche interest-based content, like why you should be targeting or advertising through Tubi is because you got more of a chance to be connecting with someone who's highly engaged because they're already more highly engaged because they're focused on their niche. As with all of our new business decks, we do have a results slide. It's really important because for us, impact and success is not measured by earned media. If you're creating, something that's going to be big in culture, then the natural byproduct is going to be earned media and, big shareability and talkability, all that. That's not how we measure success. Success must be measured by tangibly moving your business forward, and it has done triumphantly with Tubi. When we started working with them in 22-23, their viewership was in the low millions. Today, it has surpassed 100 million monthly viewers. Some months previously, that has been more than Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus. In fact, the share of total TV viewership has more than doubled since February 23. That's a 120% increase, and that outpaced the category growth by 34%. The B2B portion has been extremely effective in more brands than ever are placing ads on Tubi. Advertisers' perception of Tubi's audience changed so dramatically that today it sits as the #1 streaming platform that is most compelling for advertisers to reach young and diverse audiences. Media buying placements on Tubi have grown more than 230% in terms of conversion over the objective. In the 2 months after the B2B campaign that you saw, the out-of-home one, this is just one B2B campaign, Tubi saw a 661% increase in year-over-year increase in RFPs from media buyers. The success that this long-term brand platform, multi-year brand platform has been incredible. It passed the threshold of $1 billion brand last year.